布卡啊，我係阿詩，好耐冇見啦，大家好嘛？呢排呢，我就唔得閒，我老公都唔得閒，但係呢，就嚟端午節啊，食粽啊嘛，所以呢，幾唔得閒都要自己嚟啊，因為呢，我想食我媽咪嗰啲 Hokkien Kiam Bakchang 福建鹹粽。唔自己出手咧就食唔到呢個味道，所以咧冇辦法，幾唔得閒都要揾啲時間嚟自己嚟。咁我哋而家開始啦。呢啲咧就我哋今日要用材料啦。This is to marinate the pork belly。咁首先咧 the day before you soak your mushrooms。咁你睇你買咩 mushroom 啦，有啲要浸耐啲嘅，我買呢啲咧真係好香。我浸一陣啫，真係差唔多半個鐘就夠噶啦。So you just soak it in filtered water. This type that I bought only 30 minutes. 2 catty of pork belly, you cut them into depending on the size you like. We like big chunk of meat, so that's like 50-gram size for each piece of bakchang. So there are 25 pieces of pork there, about 2 catty of meat there, yeah, pork belly.You must make sure there's pork belly and all these other ingredients. The amount is all in the description box. 你溝埋全部 and marinate them all. 咁我想講嘅咧就嗰個 dried chestnut. You can use a fresh or dried ones.我就選擇用嗰啲dried chestnut, Italian dried chestnut 香好多which I have to soak it overnight and it's a bit more work compared to the fresh ones, but they smell and taste so much sweeter. 咁你睇到啦 this dried chestnut has been soaked and I marinate them all together. 有啲人佢哋咧就冇 marinate 嘅喎，就咁樣煮，我就中意 marinate 嗰啲味咧入咗嗰個 chestnut。同埋嗰個冬菇都係，我都 marinate 埋。咁我加咗冬菇 chestnut， 你睇到啦。呢個係 overnight 咗㗎嚇。I marinated them together, the mushrooms, which I've removed the leg, and the chestnut. I marinated them together with the meat overnight, and now the next day I cook them, and I use the water that I used to soak my dried shrimp.我用呢啲水咧，我頭先浸咗啲蝦米咧15分鐘咁樣啦，我唔好嘥啊嘛，我用翻啲水咧加落去。So I also use water from the mushroom that I soak the mushroom with to add more taste to my meat here.So because I need to let this meat cook for 30 minutes, yeah, so I need a little bit of liquid. You can use water if you like. See, I add the water from the water that I soak my mushroom with. 你可以用普通水都得嘅嚇，但係我就要加啲味，所以我就用咗啲冬菇啲水啦。You can see that I've already cut the mushroom leg out. When it's boiling, I just remove my mushroom and my chestnut because you don't need to cook them for too long. And then I let the rest of the meat under low heat and cook them for 30 minutes. 你睇到 it's all caramelized.Yeah, take everything out and they are ready to be wrapped. You let them cool down, put it aside. 呢啲可以包㗎啦。So now it's time to fry the glutinous rice. Again, all these ingredients are in the description box, yeah? First thing first, I fry my dried shrimps.So it's very important to do this step because you want to use this oil to fry your rice. 我炸咗蝦米之後咧嚟炒嗰個米嘅，所以好緊要啊，真係有分別㗎。But you add your garlic here. Two catty of rice that I've soaked overnight. So 2斤啦，呢度2斤可以整差唔多25個。So give it a good mix。咁我就開始加啲 sauces 啦。So salt， 咁你自己 adjust 翻㗎嚇，因為我唔知你用咩牌子嘅鹽啊、胡椒粉啊、豉油啊呢啲，咁你自己 adjust 啦嚇。我俾你大概 is all in the description box。咁你就自己 preference 啦 ，you like it saltier, you like it more peppery and all that. I like mine with lots of pepper because that's how my mom likes it. So my recipe here is quite peppery. And the dark soya sauce to me is also very personal. I like mine very dark, so I add 2 tablespoons. 我中意黑啲嘅，我福建人啊嘛，咁我中意黑豉油。咁你中意啦嚇，你可以用少啲嘅。咁你炒到佢 all well mix 就差唔多得㗎啦。It's just not dark enough, not the way I like it. Plus, when we cook it, it's going to the color will lighten. Luckily, I've got a spare bottle, so I can add a bit more. 要黑啲咧就靚啲，好食啲，香啲。佢加啲味。So 2 tablespoons, yeah, 2 tablespoons of the dark soya sauce, and it has to be Malaysian caramel type. Otherwise, the taste, the color will not be the same. Light and dark soya sauce, yeah. Make sure it's made in Malaysia. And also, the light soya sauce in Malaysian soya sauce is sweeter, yeah. Unlike the soya sauce that's made from China, made in Hong Kong, the soya sauce are more salt, more sodium, and less sweet. So if you use non-Malaysian light soya sauce, same thing. You have to be very careful in terms of the salt that you put in. 好了，你看我差不多。然后它在粘在那个锅就好了。You fry it until it sticks to the wok, so it's done. 哇 you can tell 出很多力啊。Seriously, when I do this bakchang, I lose weight because it's a lot of work, This is sticking and it's not easy. I have to use all the energy to just get this rice up. Yeah, there you go. You can see it's slightly brown. Yeah, slightly brown and exactly the way I like it. It's not too dry and not too wet. Yep, we're ready. Okay, before we start, you always want to make sure that you've got a handy pot next to you. Pair of scissors, very important. 呢個鉸剪呢，要準備下，你會用到的，等一下啊，所以你準備一下。Okay, so the leaves that we have soaked overnight, and then we wrap it here in this bag to keep it wet. 刚才我们就说过了啊，这个你要把它们放在那个 plastic 裡面，所以它沒有這麼快乾，所以冇咁快乾啊！記唔記得啊 ？So 而家咧，我哋就要揀啦，嗰啲 leaves 嗱，你睇到啦，好唔靚啊！你知？唉，又斷咗啦，又斷啦， See, these leaves are really bad. See, broken. See that? This is annoying. Because this is too early to be making. This is not the season yet, right? So my usual suppliers, they don't have stock, so I just bought it from whoever is selling, probably leftover from last year. So this means a lot of work. 我就要再慢慢的选，因为你看这个这么烂，这样呢真的很不好。你要是用这个呢，你要是在绑的时候，你看 ，it's gonna get in the way. And then also, if you can use this when people are eating it, when they open it up, this is the rice gonna be stuck all over the place. So 这个呢，你看到这样呢，你用不了，你一定要把它剪掉。You need to cut this away because it's gonna make it worse. You know, it's gonna make it very bad. You just have to cut it off when you get a leaf like that. Now, you see this? Even the ends like this. 你看到吗？这些这样，这个呢很讨厌的，你要把它剪到啊，不然你会很难绑。It's very bad. And then 你看到这些，你看 ，no, there's a hole here. You see, I can even put my finger through. This is bad because why? You know, your rice is going to seep through later on. 真的很不好 this quality. Yeah, now you can buy these ones. They are wet after you wrap it. It looks like very fresh kind of bakchang. And the best part is it's very wide and it's very easy to wrap when you get white ones like this and huge leaves. I went to the internet and Google and tried to understand, you know, how they manage to keep these leaves so green, so nice, so fresh. I cannot get any information on the internet on how these leaves are being treated. So I'm not very comfortable using them because when I cook at home, I want to use natural ingredients, right? We get a lot of nasty stuffs when we eat out. So when we cook at home, to me, it's very important. I want to avoid them as much as I can. So that's why when I'm not sure, I don't know what's inside. So therefore, I hesitate using it. That's one reason. 还有呢，就是我几十年就看我妈妈，就是用這個傳統嘅嘛，用這個乾的嚟弄，總係覺得用呢啲傳統啲嘅葉咧好食啲喎，粥嘅味咧入咗咧係香啲咯。So it somehow I feel that the dumplings taste better with these dried leaves. My mom always uses this type, so I'm really comfortable using this type. Yes, it's more work, it's more tedious. You have to soak it overnight. You have to choose leaf, and when you buy, you want to avoid broken ones, and you want to have the white ones. You don't want narrow leaves like this, you know. So there's more work. But anyway, I enjoy the process. Because to me it reminds me of home. This is annoying, but it's okay. I'll put up with you. Another annoying one. See what I mean? Oh, I'm so not buying from this shop again ever. And it's expensive, you know. One bunch of these leaves cost me $24. Hong Kong dollars, of course. Okay, let's get started. So what we want is to choose 2 leaves if possible. Those were bad. Let's see if I have better ones here. Okay, we want the bottom ones to be wide. So 喺下低嗰啲，你睇佢要闊啲啦，同埋呢個唔好啦，咁樣真係呢個好阻定，真係要剪咗佢。Okay, so 喺下低你要闊啲嘅。咁the one at the bottom it has to be wide and you want it a bit long. This is a bit short. Let me see if I can find something longer. Maybe something like this. Alright? And then you want it long, a bit wide. Ideally, you want the smooth part. You want it to be nicer, greener because they are facing outside. 因为呢，你包起来的时候，你的粽子这样包起来嘛，它这个在外面嘛，它会比较好看哦。So 我们现在找这个，然后呢，在这边你要找一个 也是差不多大的，就比较好包。你要是一个大小，你就比较难包了。我现在就给你示范一下一个比较好包的，就是找一个差不多一样大的 ，about the same size。You see the about the same size？ 差不多大了哈。你看这个两个哪一个比较颜色比较好看的？这个比较绿的，你就放在外面。So you put the shiny part, you put it outside, and then this one, you put the shiny part inside. Okay? The reason you put the shiny part inside is that when you fold it like that, this part, the shiny part, is going to make contact with the rice, and you don't want the rice to be sticking to your leaf. So the shiny part here will help that the rice doesn't stick too much to the leaf after cooking. 同埋一個咧，你睇呢個葉咧好 soft， 好 soft。有時咧佢好 soft 咧，佢好快裂㗎，所以你要 make sure there's no like holes. Oh yeah, because they're quite soft. So once you have a scratch or tear, the whole thing will come apart. So you make sure they're okay. So what you do is you put the longer, bigger one, you put it outside, and then you put the other one facing up, halfway. You put it like that, halfway, like that. And then when you fold halfway, you make sure one side is slightly longer because it helps you to. Okay, it's easier to wrap. One side is slightly longer. And then you just hold it back like that. There you go. Okay, there you go. And so here, see what happens is when you hold it like that, you see, this one looks like 好阻定咯，唔靚咯，係咪？所以你呢個咧，所以咧你呢個咧就要佢或者長啲或者短啲，你冇喺度好阻住晒。所以咧，我就而家咁樣整。So I do it this way. So when I wrap around like that, it will not be in the way. The end. Otherwise, they don't look nice. That's all. It's okay. You can still have your dumpling. They just won't look so nice. So there you go. You see this annoying bit? Cut it off. Because they're either going to get into the rice later on. When people eat it, they don't want to be eating these bamboo leaves. This little annoying, just pull it out. Okay, there you go. So first thing first, you have a little bit of rice. And now this one, just half spoon is good enough. And you need to press it. I prefer to use my hand. You want to press it down because it will hold that sharp triangle shape. So and that's why you need to push it down. Just a little bit pressure. Don't be afraid. You just push it down. You can see it holds, your triangle shape down there. Push it down. Okay. The next thing is 蝦米啦。咁呢個蝦米咧，你要幾多？up to you 啦嚇。我呢次咧蝦米唔係幾夠 because my dried prawns is all the way from Malaysia. I'm running out of stock. COVID is helping me to get new supplies. I'm running out of stock, so I have to be really, really careful with how much I use. Right, okay. So, and then I put my salted duck egg. My mom used to give half, and I used to complain like, so little, I want more salted duck egg. So I'm going to get full salted duck egg. And I also like my chestnut. So I like to have a whole chestnut rather than half. But you know what? My chestnut, they broke. So it's okay. I'll put two. They broke, so they become too small. So I've got that. And I've got piece of meat. I am being very, very, very greedy. This is a big slab of meat, and I like it with the fat and a little bit of lean. Up to you. If you like more fat, this is, look at this. This is more fat and this is less lean. Up to you. Whatever meat you like. The best is always get pork belly 啦，係咪啊？豬腩肉係最好食㗎啦。咁嗱，擺喺度啦。Then your mushroom。咁呢個 mushroom 咧都睇下你啦，你要幾多幾大？咁大啲梗係難啲包啦，但係食啲人就開心啲咯，係嘛？多料啊嘛。So we like to make our own bakchang because we like ingredients rather than the rice. So we like the whole piece of meat, whole piece of salted duck egg, whole piece of mushroom, and whole piece of chestnut. We are greedy, and that's why we make our own. Right. So now we put the rice now on top. So I guess the total rice I put here in each is about 50 over grams for each dumpling. 咁啊呢度咁樣你包起佢啦 ，OK 都差唔多噶啦。So you can see this. So what you do next? You hold this. 我學咗好耐啊，幾年啊。點樣包？以前我媽喺度咧教到我媽都哇，真係 give up。咁啊嗱，要 hold the two sides， 要 fold it down， 嗱咁樣 fold it down， 唔怕㗎。呢度咧你即係冇冚到晒唔怕㗎 ，OK？ 咁咧嗱，你呢度咧你就呢個 at the side 你 fold down 啦，呢個 fold down 咁樣啦。嗱呢個就好緊要啦，你睇到嘛？呢個 This is the hard part, the middle part of the leaf. Now you don't want that part to be on top like that. You don't want it to be on top. You want it to be at the side. You don't want it to be right on top. The reason being, imagine this is right on top, right? When you fold, it's very hard to fold down, and then it might also break sometimes when this part is too hard. All right. So you just want this to be slightly on the side. You can move it. 你可以咁樣 adjust 下嘅 ，OK？ 要你就唔要佢喺中間啦 ，OK？You want it to be at the side a bit 喺度 ，OK？ 睇我咁樣 hold 住佢呢度，兩個手 ，OK？ 嗱呢個嗱你 you want to have a sharp pointy triangle, right? So all you have to do is just hold this down. 嗱，你睇到佢呢度有 fold down 㗎啦，就咁樣啦。嗱，你咁樣就 OK 㗎咯喎，三角形㗎咯喎。You see this? That's all you need to do. Don't do anything else. All you need to be looking out for is no breakage. 呢度冇爛冇黐冇爛，你注意看一下这里啊，你不要那一个它的那一个叶子这里有什么破的，你就不要。绑的时候呢？你就这样啊，转一下，在另外一个角色 ，OK， tie it one， and OK，and tie it second time， and turn it around， and then tie another knot to hold， 就这样啦 ，That's it， you're done。Okay, and then this one, you see this one? 它这个你看它 is too soft, right? The leaf, you see, is broken. Even though just now it looks okay, but now when you hold it, see it's broken, right? But it's at the side, so it's okay. Okay, so 你是这样烤了。要是这个太长，你就剪掉；你就剪掉，这 OK， 你就不管它了，就这样了。Once you get the skill, you know how to wrap it, it's not so bad. It's just choosing the leaf, managing the leaves, trying to piece the right leaves together. That's take up a long time. So, and which is why it's very important. Water next to you. Enjoy. Take it slow. I always have my phone next to me. Let's see who is around to chit chat with me while I do my bakchang today. Hello， 你在做什么？
我要剪头发。
你要跟自己剪头发？
Yes.
That's my nephew in Malaysia. He is my constant king guy companion and my entertainment. Where's everybody else? Hello. Here's another one who's also bored at home, I think. Ai gia bồ. 在祭典抓 Oh my god 清明對哦 If no one's free to talk to me or don't feel like talking to people, you know what I do next? Music please! And it's my me time! To cook your bakchang, you use water. 你用咩水都得，我就唔好嘥嗰啲浸咗賣啲水啦，同埋浸咗啲冬菇啲水啦。You see, I use back the water that I used to soak the rice and the mushroom. I have to sieve this a little bit because you know there's some impurities from the mushroom. And I use back the mushroom leg that I cut off to give a little bit more of a mushroom taste. So 我唔好嘥啊嘛，呢啲水嚟攞嚟煮個粽啊嘛，咁啊俾佢多啲味。So it's about 3/4 pot full 呀，咁啊俾佢滾啦，滾咗咧，我就可以加啲粽落去噶啦。咁啊呢啲包好嘅粽。So these are the wrapped up bakchang, very gentle. Yeah, I put in here. So depending the size of your pot, yeah, I can put in the maximum in my pot 6 liter. I can put in 14 pieces, 12, 14 pieces. 咁啊煮3個鐘 3 hours later. Turn off the fire. It was a low fire, yeah. So now I can take it out. Now it's very important, I need to hang them, let them drip dry. 咁啊要揾啲位咧掛住佢。So let it drip dry. Yeah, that's very important, yeah. So I need to make sure I hang it up. They are ready. 你睇到我啲粽嘛 ？Just look at my bakchang. Look at that fat and that salted egg yolk. Oh my god, my mom will be so proud of me.